This is Jason Lee with Exponent Advisors. As part of our series on mortgages, we wanted to continue to talk about potential things people don't consider when it comes to purchasing their home. We've already done a video on inflation and how that it could impact your mortgage over a period of time. Today, we're going to talk about what we consider lost opportunity cost. So as a reminder, an opportunity cost is something that you did with your money when you took it out of its ability, meaning to work for you, and you put it somewhere where it can no longer be used, and it could have been put to use for you. You no longer get the opportunity to have that money back. It's, in a sense, gone forever. When you're considering buying or purchasing your home, and you're sitting there trying to decide how much money should we put down, and you're having that discussion at the table with your spouse, just remember, the bank is watching its equity grow just as you are. Unfortunately, you not only pay the bank interest, but you also pay the principal, giving away the opportunity to invest that money and benefit from its future growth. So what is the opportunity cost? Did you earn interest on your down payment, or is the down payment money accessible? What would you do, or what would that down payment be worth today had you been able to invest it? That is the opportunity cost. So as we go to the next slide, I'm going to illustrate for you how that impacts you directly when it comes to your investments and also to your mortgage. So the first thing we're going to consider, and for this illustration, is that we're going to take into consideration a $200,000 home. And in this illustration, we've already decided that we're going to finance 10% down. Meaning we're going to put down 10%, but we're trying to determine, should we go ahead and do an additional 20? So on that $200,000 home, it would have $20,000 down or $40,000 down. So taking that $20,000 difference and putting that into consideration, we're going to discuss it in the following illustration. So before we go any further, I always want to remind you that the illustrations that we've shown you are not indicative of any particular investment. They're not a guarantee of returns. They're just taking conceptual ideas and putting them into educational concepts. We're not making a recommendation by any manner. First thing we want to look at is that $20,000. Let's say, for example, you put $10,000 on the, or $20,000 on the home and $20,000 into an investment. Let's say over a period of 30 years, you're able to average a 5% return. That $20,000 is able to grow at 5% over 30 years to a compounded number of $89,355. Let's say the mortgage amount is $20,000. It's in the home. Your loan rate is 4%, and the number of years financed is 30. The monthly payment of that $20,000 essentially is $95, which brings your principal and interest payment of that $95 to a cost of $34,000. So the question is, how could a 1% variance have such a large impact? Well, something to remember is when you buy or finance your home, you're purchasing down the principal over time. So as that number is amortized over a period of 30 years, that expense of that cost gets less and less and less. So as opposed to a compounding return of 20,000. So 20,000 growing at 5% of that number as it gets bigger over time exponentially grows. So that's how that variance works when it comes to paying debt versus investing the difference. So that, I hope, helps explain some ideas around the concept of opportunity cost. My next video, I'm going to go even more in detail as to how financing works, amortized over a period of time, versus what you could do with the money should you choose to invest it.